I mean, unless we get a miracle from Ross, like a turn 2 Don fan win, I don't see a way out.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than that, but absolutely, it has to be a fast win. It has to be a turn 2 Don fan or a turn 2 full setup, just completely diminishing your opponent's chances right from the get-go.
Yeah.
You don't let them do this. You actually probably can't even take advantage of twins, which is unfortunate because that's obviously your best way out to setting up.
And if I'm in David's position, I am just not even attacking Ross. I am just promoting up giant Pokemon. I'm not letting him take prizes, and the game's just going to end, I think. I don't think Game 2 will end.
Oh, no, absolutely not. If Game 2 is going to be a complete game just like Game 1 was, then there is 0% chance of this happening because we are just on a short time limit now. I believe that the clock is at under 20 minutes for sure.
Yeah, that game probably took at least a half hour, probably more. But, I mean, there's no way Ross can knock out 4 Reshurams or even an Emboar or even a Magnezone. There's no way he can take 4 prizes if David gets any sort of setup, but that's going to be the key. Can he get anything? Magnezone is quite a clunky deck at times. Not that game because he had turn 2 Magnezone. That fixes everything. But if he doesn't get that sort of a start, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. He's also got to be planning for the sudden death, too. Like, not only does he have to win this game, too, not only does he have to take 4 prizes when his deck relies on his opponent not, on him and his opponent not doing anything for a while, but he also has to win a sudden death match. And the only way I can see that happening is turn 2 Don fan with your opponent having no way to compete against that.
The only way out I could see is a turn 2 Vileplume, completely locking David out of the game. They would just shut down all of his trainers. But even then, how's he going to knock out a Reshiram in time?
Yeah, we see an Oddish start, but there's a Collector. That's the best supporter you can possibly have at the beginning of the game. So that's not a bad way to start the game. He's going to obviously be searching for, I'm going to assume a Phanpy here. A Phanpy, a Psychic Basic.
Solosis.
And
looks like he has a second Oddish.
And his second Oddish in case the first one gets knocked out. Obviously, his opponent plays Fire. He doesn't know if his opponent plays, say a Plus Power or something.
Oddish is actually weak to Psychic, I believe.
I call your bluff.
We'll see later.
Why is it green? No, I'm just kidding. If it's weak to Psychic, then great. Then maybe...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's weak to Psychic.
I have no idea why he would search for a second Oddish. Oh, he's not.
Yeah, he took it back. Looks like we have a Solosis, a Cleffa, and waiting on the third one.
Get that Phanpy.
Thinking about it, the way...
There's that Phanpy.
Yeah, there's the Phanpy. The way Ross would win is an aggressive Suicune Entei Legend, actually. It can knock out most of Ross's deck in one hit and just pray that Ross has no setup.
You mean David's deck?
Yeah, sorry. David has no setup. That's the only way he can really win. And Oddish, he's trying to use Find a Friend, but he got Tails.
Now, I don't know how aggressive Suicune Entei can be, but but hopefully we can see.
Yeah, that's about as aggressive as Ross's deck can get.
So he decided not to retreat Neek, and he actually still benched that Cleffa.
Yep.
So, we'll see what happens. I would have liked to see a Meek if he had a bad hand, but maybe he's just got a Don fan and or a couple of stage 1s and an Eek out of him.
I think maybe he had a rare candy in his hand, so the Oddish's attack, if you flip heads, you get to search for a grass Pokemon. So maybe if he had a rare candy in his hand, he was going for the Vileplume.
Okay, that's great. Unfortunate Tails in.
Yeah. And
so that's another Collector.
You could see Ross was actually really disturbed that he hit that Tails.
Oh, yeah. And now we're actually seeing Ross play much faster than he normally does because he's aware of the time.
He understands.
Yep. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Now I think we're going to... Do we actually see him go for that call for family again? Or friends?
I assume he'll probably Eek here. I'm not sure.
I mean, he is getting that second Oddish just in case he misses it. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't mind being behind on prizes.
This is true. Yeah, I mean, he could just sit there and try to find a friend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he has no friends at this point.
Yeah, a little friendless. But there's Zekrom with a double Cutlass. So here he goes again. Mm-hmm. Finds friends. And he searches. There we go.
All right. I'm going to assume this is a Vileplume, but
Absolutely. You made a correct assessment. It has to be it. I think he put it face down, but we'll get to see it soon.
Can't tell what that is. There's a Vileplume. Yep.
There it is.
So yeah, that's exactly what he was going for. Clearly has a rare candy in his hand, and we'll be seeing a Vileplume soon. So David's going to be under a very quick trainer lock this game.
Oh yeah. That'd be interesting if we saw a tech judge out of David, but I highly doubt that. Just for situations like these. Let's see. Now, David is actually, and it's interesting to know, we've been talking a lot about Ross's start. Ross's start has been fairly decent, about as good as it can be for him for his obviously slower deck.
Mm-hmm.
But David did not have a collector. He actually Professor Oak's new theoried, and now this turn he does have it though. But again, he is a turn behind. Mm-hmm. His opponent is going to have a Vileplume next turn, and he has no way to rare candy now. He's not going to be able to play rare candy this game.
Yeah, now it'll be interesting.
There's a Pig Knight, obviously, but
the Pig Knight, getting that into play was actually pretty huge.
Exactly, but he will not have access to the rare candy for the Magnezone, which he always loves to do.
Mm-hmm.
I believe most decks only run one stage one of the deck
Yep.
In their decks, and without communication, which is obviously a trainer, it might be pretty hard for him to get a Magnezone out this game. If Ross can keep up the speed of the game, and if David obviously doesn't find that Magneton, then this game should be in Ross's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's got enough time to complete it.
Yeah, I think time is Ross's enemy here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and Ross understands that because he's hurrying, man. I have not seen a Vileplume be played down so fast in my life.
I've never seen Ross play so fast in my life. Yeah, he's got the Vileplume out, so the lock will be on David. The only issue is...
At this point, I assume he's going to eat. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is just the problem Ross is facing. How does he take 4 prizes before time is called? Looks like he's playing a Seeker. Yeah.
Seeker on the Oddish. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now, what's he going to be bringing down? Maybe he's got the Suicune Entei Legend already, or
he's just clearing a bench spot. He doesn't need it.
Okay.
So
might as well, because you're not going to be keeping that hand anyways, and you want to get a chance in play or something like that.
Yeah.
His bench is very essential.
He probably just doesn't have any other supporters, so might as well just use the Seeker while you can. And it looks like he did Eek and stayed awake. Now, what I'm wondering is, does David realize this situation? Does he know that time is on his side, or will he try to attack into Zekrom's again? Because I feel like that's one of the ways Ross could actually pull off a win.
Absolutely.
So will David just sit back and bide his time and make Ross beat him, or will he play right into Ross's hands?
Well, there's Sages.
Mm-hmm.
Sages training.
Yep. Yeah, you got it right. Good job. You know some of the cards.
This is incorrect. I really don't. No. Putting me on the spot here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Sage's Training, very risky card, actually. You always have to discard 3 cards, so sometimes it could just be a complete disaster, but sometimes it gets you everything you need, so we'll see what Ross has to discard. It could devastate him. Looks like this wasn't too bad.
I only got to see the top card. I didn't get to see the bottom 2.
I saw a Rescue Energy, I believe, and it looks like Solosis, maybe.
Okay.
So, nothing bad. Don't know if he got anything, though, which is always the bummer with Sage. Sometimes you just end up discarding 5 cards, which doesn't help your cause.
No, but in this case, I think it does. In this case, the thinner your deck is for your Eeks, the better.
Yeah.
You just want to get to that down fan immediately, because now he's down to about maybe, say, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I mean, no prizes have been taken, and he has to take 4, otherwise David will win on time.
Let's see what happens on David's end.
Mm-hmm. Like I've been saying, David doesn't have to do anything. He can sit there, take his time, attach an energy, and pass every turn, and he could be world champion.
Wow, that actually didn't hit me until right now. He can be the world champion in less than, say, 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much time's actually left. I do believe it's been 60 minutes, maybe 75, but time has to be getting close.
Okay.
Obviously, they don't put it up anywhere. They don't want the players to intentionally stall out.
Exactly.
But after you've been playing for a while, you kind of have an internal clock where you feel like the match is going to end soon. So I think it's getting to that point.
Yeah, and if it's 75 minutes, then actually we underestimated the amount of time left, because then that would actually maybe let them have a complete time.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, even if there's an extra 15 minutes or even a 30 minutes, it's going to be tougher for Ross. I mean, he's got to take 4 prizes. David's just going to be pushing up Zekrams, or he's going to be pushing up Reshiram's, and Ross can't do 130 damage over and over. So I just don't see how he can take 4 prizes in time. Unless David just doesn't get anything. I don't see what he can do here.
Okay. We've been informed that there's been 48 minutes that have passed in the game.
Oh, wow.
So if it is a 60-minute time limit, then that's 12 minutes, obviously. And if it's 75, then you add another 15. I'm not very good at math, so I'm not going to try to figure that one out.
Oh, boy.
These are jokes, by the way, guys. These are jokes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm a joker. Now, Ross is drawing 6 cards.
Yeah, Oak's new theory. I mean, Ross has to make a move. He can't sit back and let David activate twins.
I would hate to see him eek here.
I don't know if David's doing this intentionally or not, but he's benched a second Cleffa. He's just sitting there and hoping he stays asleep, draw the game out as long as possible.
I'm going to assume that second Cleffa was to have a free retreater.
That's also a possibility, yeah.
Flabbergasted. Absolutely flabbergasted as to why he would have 2 Cleffas in play.
Hey, man, maybe he likes Cleffa.
I mean, who doesn't like Cleffa? But still, I don't know if I would have have 2 of it in play in the World Championships finals.
Looks like he's playing the smiling version of Cleffa, so always a pleasant sight to see.
All right, well, let's see what happens. We see heads off of the Eek, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So he stays awake.
Yeah, it looks like we've probably seen about 6 or 7 Eeks so far in this game. Not a whole lot of action, but it's going to come to a big build-up here.
It feels like Eek has defined this format. It feels like Eek has been the defining card in this format, because A, you want to set up with Eek, but B, you're afraid of Tyrogue. So everybody's just sitting there just wondering, do I play Cleffas? How many do I play? Do I play multiples? Do I just go to Manaphy or another basic Pokemon with more HP? Yeah. And it seems like Cleffa has been the center point of attention in this format.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, there just are not that many support Pokemon. In the previous format, we had cards like Chatot, we had cards like Smeargle, which was strong because of Cyrus's Conspiracy being so popular. We also had Sableye. We just had many, many starting Pokemon, but now nothing attacks for 0 energy except for Cleffa. So you can play that or risk it with Smeargle, which doesn't usually end very well, but that's why you see most people going with Cleffa.
Yeah. Now, last turn I mentioned that I didn't want to see Ross Eek again, and he eeked. I did not ignore that. I was just trying to figure out why he decided to eek instead. And to be honest, I really haven't found a good answer. I really feel like Ross is just wasting an opportunity, and unless it's a 75-minute time limit, then Ross is going to be in a world of trouble, because he's got to have less than, assuming this is 60 minutes, he's got to have less than, say, 7 minutes left on the clock.
I think the way Ross is looking at it is he doesn't have a Duosion out yet, so he won't be able to move damage off of his Donphan if he promotes it. So David already has an Emboar and a Reshiram, so that Donphan could go down in 2 hits very easily. And if that's the case, then Ross is pretty much done, because Zekrom's only doing 20.
No, yeah. While this is true, at the end of the day, he still needs to take 4 prizes.
Yep, and here we go. He's promoting Donphan finally. He's going to Earthquake. And here we go. First action of this game. Probably about 7 turns in.
Now, it's interesting that maybe at this point, he's just felt like, oh, man, maybe my Duosion's just prized. that might be it.
That could be it, too.
I'm sure he runs 2 of it, but at the end of the day, if he still hasn't found it in this matter of time, then maybe he just figures, uh-oh.
Is that a Twins from David?
That looks like it, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Looks like a Twins.
David actually baited Ross into taking the lead.
Take that, Ross.
The guy with 4 twins takes the first prize against the guy with like 1 or 2 twins. And going to really bite him, I think. When David can search for anything he wants, Ross is going to be in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Remember what I said about not being able to get a Magnezone in play?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'll take that back. That's one way to get a Magnezone back.
Yeah,
and
unless Magneton is prized, which could happen.
Yeah, I mean, all the credit to David. There's no misplays here. He played this matchup perfectly the way he was supposed to in Game 2. He knew that he didn't have to get aggressive. He decided to eke along with his buddy Ross.
Yeah.
And even though he couldn't get a Magnezone in play, he didn't care. He's like, "Hey, I got my twins."
Mm-hmm. And he
Come
does
at
have
me, buddy.
He does have a Magneton, so I don't know what Ross can do here. This Donphan's gonna get knocked out
Eventually.
Yeah. Not this turn, obviously, but if I'm in David's position, I actually. Oh, there's the Duosion. So Ross does have the stage 1. I was going to say, hope that Ross keeps Earthquaking maybe, and Solosis actually only has 30 hit points as well. So that Cleffa and the Solosis would have been knocked out by Earthquake 2 more times. So maybe play it more passively, force Ross to keep that Donphan active instead of allowing something else to come out, but we'll see how it plays out.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like David's playing it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
David understands that Ross had to make the first move. Now he just doesn't want to get blown out in case Ross actually does take 4 prizes.
Yeah.
In the rare case that it happens, now, hey, look, you want to deal damage, deal 130 of it. And if you can deal 130, deal 140. And if you can deal 140, deal 150. Take your 4 prizes and earn them, man.
Yeah, and if I'm in Ross's shoes here, I'm scared out of my mind because David now has an Emboar and a Magnezone. He's got a bunch of energy in play, and it's not looking good.
Well, no, it obviously isn't. And let's not kid ourselves, but he got that Duosion now, and Reuniclus is sure to come soon, hopefully.
Yeah, it's what he's going to need to... looks like he does have it in play. Yeah, he did evolve into Reuniclus, so he'll be able to move enough damage to the Zekrom to outrage for a knockout here.
Oh, all right. That's an impressive way to get this started. Now... Oh, okay. He knocked out his own Donphan.
Did he?
Yeah, he must have. Knocked out his own Donphan with...
No. David used outrage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind. Take that back.
Yeah, you missed a whole turn there.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what Ross could do to come back.
Wow, I'm shocked at what we're seeing here.
That's an eek. Well, I guess now at this point he's like, well, Tails will save me from a prize, but I don't think that's the correct way to go about this.
Yeah, very risky. If he woke up, Ross would have been down to 3 prizes.
Yeah, sometimes you get tricked by that baby power. You just look at it and you're like, whoa, 50% chance that I just stay alive.
Yeah.
But there's also a 50% chance that you just give up a prize. So
in this situation,
common mistake.
I don't know. What would you do as David?
If I was David, I would seriously just start activating big Pokemon. That Donphan obviously is a threat. That Donphan, I believe, has 3 energy attached to it, but I feel like one of them is at least a double colorless.
Looks like Cleffa woke up.
All right, well, Cleffa wakes up on his own turn, correct?
Yeah.
No, on his opponent's. I apologize.
David's going to be in a tough spot. He really missed his window of opportunity to close this game out because there was damage on that Zekrom. If he had a Reshiram to respond, I don't see what Ross could have done. But now he's just stuck with a Magnemite and a Magnezone. So if he promotes Magnezone to knock out that Zekrom, the Donphan just knocks him out in return, and Ross, all of a sudden, he's taking 4 prizes.
Yeah, Ross has taken 2 prizes already.
Yeah.
He's only got 2 to go. Even if he only has 3, the plus 3 turns, I believe he's got enough damage in play to be able to take 2 prizes and win this game.
Yeah.
It looks like we might be going to sudden death.
Wow, it's really impressive. I can't say I expected this to happen.
Well, no, obviously I didn't either, and you shouldn't be able to expect this to happen because, there goes that Eek. That's it really came down to that. You give your opponent a free prize with the Eek, and I don't care how bad your hand is. If you Eek, you have to understand that you're giving your opponent a prize at one point. Yeah. You have to understand that your opponent will then have taken 2 prizes, and he'll have 2 turns to deal, to take 2 more prizes, and he'll be able to do that. So you don't want to be able to just sacrifice a prize. You want to be able to make him earn it.
Yeah.
If he's going to earn it, he's going to earn it the hard way. He's going to do it by getting rid of damage on his bench.
Yeah, if I were David in this situation, at the beginning of the game, I would have seriously considered just collecting for like 3 Reshirams and passing.
Yeah, and he activated a Magnemite to at the beginning of the turn, and now he's retreating it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to send out Embor and attack. Now, I actually think the better thing to do is just send out Embor and pass, to be honest. You don't want to put damage on Ross's field and give him the option to outrage for a lot of damage. There's no real reason to do that, but he's going to commit the 4 energy on an Embor and hits him for 80, which really doesn't get him anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. David's trying to earn his victory the honest way.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to slow his opponent out.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to see if he can win this game. Maybe not the smartest thing to do. I mean, honestly speaking, maybe it isn't the strategically smartest thing to do, but it's the honorable thing to do. You know, let's play this game out. Let's see how I'm going to win. Let's see if you're going to win.
Yeah.
All right, you won this game. Let's go to game 3. Let's decide it the right way.
Yeah, and honestly, in a game 3, I don't know who has the advantage. Both decks are very slow. Ross has an option for Donphan, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, while this is true, the Donphan can't knock out a Reshiram. The Reshiram actually outrages for quite a bit. And
looks like Ross played a Seeker, and he has the Entei Suicune Legend, so looks like Ross might take this game.
No, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. I really feel like Ross is going to take this game. I don't doubt that at all. We were hearing some announcements over the PA, but no, never mind. I apologize. That has nothing to do with the current game state.
Yeah, he actually just said the same thing I did. He played down Entei Suicune Legend.
Yeah, he's copying. He's mimicking you.
Yeah, he probably heard me first.
Yeah, much like Shatot. Mimicking Kyle Sucevich.
That was bad.
Yeah, I thought so too. Too late now. Can't take it back.
But yeah, I mean, looks like David just doesn't have a very strong hand here. If he had Rayquaza Deoxys, sure, maybe he could do it. Doesn't look like he has it and all the energy, but if I were David here, I would probably scoop.
Oh yeah, I would scoop right now. I would make sure that I get to go first in Game 3. Obviously, the sudden death rules, that's what actually hurt me at one point at U.S. Nationals. I was not aware of this rule. It's a very obscure rule, but it could come into effect right now, where you're playing a solid Game 2, your opponent takes his 4th prize, time's called, the game is now over because your opponent just took enough prizes for this game to count. And now, since the game was over before time was called, when time was called before the game was over, you now have to roll or flip to see who goes first. Normally, the losing player would be able to decide who goes first and who goes second. But if sudden death is called, or if time is called before the game is over, and you guys go to Game 3, your opponent or you guys will now have to roll dice or flip coins to see who goes first, and that advantage of losing is thrown out the window, and now it becomes a 50-50. So absolutely, that's a correct assessment. Must scoop immediately.
No.
Ross is taking 4 prizes. Ross is going to win this game. He's aware of that, whether he wins this game on time or not. Now it's just a matter of, hey, look, let's try to set up immediately because I'm going to have the advantage. I'm going to be going first.
Now, in this situation, David can't win. There's no chance. His Embor was knocked out. I don't think he has another Pignite. He doesn't have it in play, so he won't even be able to have an Embor out. So he won't be able to attach multiple energy at a time. Nothing's going to survive this Donphan. If it does, it's not going to survive a second hit, and this game is going to be over.
I feel like he's ready to scoop. I really do.
Yeah.
And
looks like Ross takes Game 2.
Yep.
And we are going to Game 3.